Howdy folks, welcome back and a happy new year to you. We're going to start off the new year with a hard puzzle, shall we? Alright, flex the brain muscle. Let's see what we can do. So let's look for some pairs, vertically, horizontally. I'm liking the symmetry here, kind of some interesting symmetry. There's a line here, there's lines. So like this 7 can come across, this 7 can come across. See those lines? So it tells me there's only one spot for that 7. And the same thing, we have a line here and a line here. So like this 2, this 3, this, there's some other numbers that can ziggy-zag. But hey, this 7 comes across and this 7 comes across. Only one spot for a 7 there. We've got a 1 that comes across, so one of these two has to be a 1. Let's go ahead and mark that feller. So anywhere where there's a line feature, so like there's a 7 and a 6, well these got a 7 and a 6 already. And then we have a 3 and a 4. Well, this 3 and a 4 cut right through this bad boy and only leave us 2 spots, and so those have to be 3 and a 4 and 3 and a 4. Well, looky there, fellers, this is now locked. Those two have to be a 3 and a 4. That tells me I can tell you what these center 3 numbers are. And I can tell you there's a 9 already with this 9 and this 9. There's our 9. We have an 8 and we have an 8. And so there's our 8. And then the only number we're missing left in this cube, I believe, is a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's our 5. Very good. Now that leaves us with this column only missing 2 numbers. Let's see, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We're missing a 1 and a 2. So, all right, let's jot those in there. 1 on a 2. Very good, very good. Oh, now this row that we were just working on only has one number left. 1, 2, looks like a 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Very good, very good. Okay, all right, so now that we've been playing around and getting a lot of information really quickly, we can go systematically a little bit more. But we can always, let's see if there's any other number here. 7, 9, and an 8. 7, 9, and an 8. We've got our 1 already. That's very good. Okay, all right. So let's start looking for some pairs. I like this here too. 5, shoop. So one of these two has to be a 5. A 5 has to go here. Let's see what else we have right off the bat. Okay, so I'm starting to go every direction, and I need to slow down a little, or I'm going to get myself confused. All right, let's start here. Let's just start here. So we've got a pair of 2s. So a 2 in the left, a 2 down the center. So a 2 has to be here. Okay, I've got 2 9s, a 9 down the center, a 9 down the right, so one of these ones has to be a 9. But there's nothing here to help us, so it's one. We got 3 choices, so I'm not going to mark that just yet. Let's see, what other pairs do we have? Now, okay, this 4 comes up, and there's a pair this direction, so it only leaves one spot for the 4. That is good. Now that comes down and leaves us, the center one has to be a 4. I don't see any other pairs. Okay, 9 and a 4, 9 and a 4. We've got our 2. That all looks good. Now if we go this direction, we've got a 4 and a 4, so we have to have a 4 here. We have a 5 and a 5, so one of these top ones is a 5. We have a 9 that goes through the center, a 9 that goes across the bottom, so one of these top ones has to be a 9. And that looks like all of our pairs up here. We've got our 8s and our 9s and our 7s all done here. Do we have any other pairs? Okay, because we've got a 4, but then it's one of these is our 4. 8s, 9s, and 7s are all done. 1s are done. Okay, so those paired are pretty good. What about these pairs? We've got a 2 across the bottom, a 2 across the middle. We know this could be a 2, but this one could also be a 2. We have 2 7s here, a 7 across the top, 7 across the middle, 7 down the right side. So there is our 7. We have a 6 here across the bottom, a 6 across the top, 6 down the center, which means this one has to be our 6, the only one left. And that also gives us, in the center cube, 6 down the left, 6 down the center. Has to be in one of these outer 2. Okay. Let's see, what other pairs do we have? We got the 7s, we've got the 6s, we've got the 2s. Do we have any help on the 8s? We do have helps on the 8s. So an 8 comes across the top, an 8 comes down the middle. One of these bottom 2, well, actually, it's not one of these bottom 2, because see, these 2 here can't be an 8. There we go. In this column, that's the only one that can be an 8. And that does help us over here. We have an 8 down the left, an 8 down the center, 8 down the top, 8 bottom and top. So only one spot left to be an 8 there. And that almost gets all of our 8s. We still have 2 right here that could be an 8, 8 here, or an 8 here. Not sure which one just yet. Okay, and then we have an 8 in the left and an 8 in the center. So one of these 2 could be an 8, and then we have our 8 already. Okay, so we got a couple numbers down here. I just kind of was following through with those numbers. Let's see what else we have pairwise that could help us. So these 2 right here in this column, there's only 2 numbers left for this column, and they're a 1 and a 6. But we have a 1 that cannot be here, so this is the only spot that could be a 1. Therefore, this is the only spot left to be a 6. And then let me go ahead and clean up my pencil marks there. So now I've got 3 spots. Anytime I've got 3 spots or less, I like to go through and identify them a little bit better. Okay, so we've got our 1, we've got our 2. Any one of those could be a 3, 4, any of those could be a 5. So our 3s and our 5s could be anywhere. Not really helpful in there. So 3 or 5 is the number that we're missing. Okay. Now I do have a 4 here. So it says I cannot have a 4 here. I only have 1, 2 spots that could be a 4, so I can jot that in there. So I know I'm missing a 3 and a 4. I know I'm missing a 2, and then I'm missing a 5. Okay, in this row right here. Just kind of following that through just a little bit. Okay, all right. So let's see what else have we got. We just put a couple numbers up here too. So let me. Well, we got the 8 solved or sorted, anyways. Let me look here and see what else we've got. Okay, all right. Okay, I do notice we have like 2 9s. Now that we put this 8 here, we have a 9 and a 9. So we just have 2 spots for our 9. Ooh, hey folks, we have a double elimination, which is beautiful. So this right here, and then if you look over here on the right side, see this 9 here comes down, and it says 9. Whoop, I put an 8. Oh, no. Get out of there, Mr. 9. 9 here or 9 here. Now we have this cool little X pattern. So if this is a 9, this has to be a 9. Or if this is a 9, this has to be a 9. So no matter how this X formation goes, there cannot be a 9 here in this top, and there cannot be a 9 here in the bottom, because one of these 2 or one of these 2 will fulfill that role. So in the center cube, our 9 has to be in one of these 2 spots. So this X pattern is kind of a neat pattern. You find those more in harder puzzles, but that's kind of cool. So that's where our 9 is going to be. So no 9 here, no 9 there. That's the only spot left in this row that can be a 9. All right, so we like that pattern. Trying to see. Okay, so that is good. What else have we uncovered? We know a 1 has to be either here or here because of this one and this one. Okay. Seems like I should have some more numbers over here. I've got a 6 that comes up, got 2 2 sevens that come up. I've got a 6 that comes across. Well, let's see here. Kind of counting in my head here. Got a 1. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I just got a 1, got a 2. I need a 3 in this cube, but it can't be on the top and it can't be on the left. So there's my pair, but they're kind of split. So it's going to be either there or there. I need a 4, nothing to help me. I need a 5, nothing to help me. 6, 7, 8, and I need a 9, and I've got my 9 marked out there. Okay. So the 2 numbers I'm missing is a 4 or a 5. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's look at, I did my pairs. Okay, why did I not mark the 2 up here? So I've got a 2 coming up and a 2 across. So this one or this one could be a 2. Okay, I've got a 2 that comes across here and a 2 that cuts up. So one of these 2 have to be a 2. Now I have a 2 that comes down and a 2 that comes up. So one of these 2 have to be a 2. Okay, that's good. That's good. Matches these 2. All right. All right. Let's see here. So I think I'm feeling like I want to go through and I just want to mark everything. Because sometimes by marking everything, nothing's jumping out at me just yet. If I start marking what everything could be, that sometimes pops things into my head that I just didn't see before. Okay, so let's start up here, shall we? No? I don't want, yeah? No? I don't know. Let's start with the ones I've got. So I know what was the numbers that I'm missing here. Is a 3 and a 5. Okay, so I have nothing else to help me here but 3 and a 5, 3 and a 5, 3 and a 5. That is fully marked out. Okay. All right, so that's going to be helpful. These are fully marked out, 3 and a 4. Let's mark this one out here. We've got our 1. Our 2 has to go here. 3 goes here. Now our 4 can go anywhere. 4, 4, 4. And I think we decided 5 could go anywhere as well. So 5, 5, 5, 5. Then we need a 6. Well, the 6 cannot go in the bottom. And it cannot go in the middle. So 6 has to go here or here. 7, 8, 9. Okay, all right. I'm okay with that. That's helpful. I missed the 6 somehow, that these 2 could be the 6. Okay, all right, let's look down here in this bottom one. We've got our 1, we've got our 2, we've got our 3. Now we need a 4. Now I think we decided, I don't see anything that can eliminate where a 4 can go, or the 5. So I could put 4 and 5, 4 and 5, 4 and 5, 4 and 5 in all of these spots. Now that cube is fully marked out. Okay, so let's look at this cube. I've got my 1s marked out, I've got my 2s marked out. Now 3 comes across, so it looks like my 3s could be 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, now my 4 can't be down the middle, and that's it. So the rest of these 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Now I've got a 5 over here in one of these 2 spots, 6, 7, 8, and then this 9 comes down, and it looks like it matches the 4, so I could have a 9 here, here, here. Oh, remember I had that crisscross pattern. Oh, see? Eliminate those 9s. Only these 2 could be the 9. Very important. See, that's going to help me out. Okay, which, at this point right here, folks, I now have a whole bunch of solutions because this bottom one is now marked out and it can't be a 9. So look what I have left in this one spot, a 3 and a 4. And look what I have in this spot here is a 3 and a 4. So because these 2 are interlocked, I'm going to double check them. That tells me that this has to be the 9, this has to be the 2, this is going to resolve 8 and 9, because this 3 and a 4 are the only 2 that can be 3 and a 4. So let me just double check this, make sure that it cannot be a 1, cannot be a 2, could be a 3 or a 4, not a 5, not a 6, not a 7, not an 8, and then this crisscross pattern eliminates a 9. So this 3 and 4 and this 3 and 4 are going to help us tremendously. So this one cannot be a 3 and a 4, because if this is 3, this is 4. If this is 3, that is 4. All right, so that has to be a 9. Let me clean up my 9 here. Now, if this is a 3 or a 4, and this is a 3 or a 4, this can no longer be a 4. It has to be a 2. Okay? Now, up here we have to be a little bit more careful. Let me take my 2 out. There we go. Now, we've got a 9 already, so that's going to help resolve this. Let me take the 9 out. There we go. So this is the only spot left for a 9. I got to be very careful. I messed myself up so many times doing this. All right, so what is the number that I'm missing here in this row? 1, 2. I got my 3 and my 4. 5, 6. I need a 7. Okay, so a 7 has to go here. There we go. And now we have these 2 that are locked, a 7 and an 8, which is wonderful. Okay, because that's going to help us with these ones here. If this is the only spot left for a 2, see this 2 that comes up, cannot have a 2 over here, that makes this one a 2. That also helps us with these 2. If a 2 can't be here, that means our 2 has to go here. And then right here, we'll find out the 2 numbers that we're missing is a 1 and a 6. 1 and a 6 to complete this cube, and we've got our 6 here to help us. So our 6 has to go here, and our 1 has to go there. All right, now if we're looking down here, we've now solved this 2, so this one has to be our 1, and we can clean up this one. Cool. Now the trick is this could be a 3 or a 4, so we can't eliminate that just yet, because that will crisscross our pattern here. If this is a 3, that's a 4. If that's a 4, that's a 3. One of these is a 4 and a 5. 4 and a 5. Okay, very good. All right, so let me clean up my 2. Clean up my 2. There we go. And then let's look around. We just put a bunch of numbers in, so now I'm going to have to look at my map again here and resort. So we had sorted these 5 here, but we hadn't sorted this one or the top 3. Well, now this one is done. So we've got a 7 or an 8, which is good. All right, now we've got 3 numbers here. 1, 2, so we need a 3. And it looks like a 3 could go in any one of those spots, but not a 4. And then what's the other number we're missing is a 7. Okay, but a 7 couldn't go here. All right, so let's, so a 3 and a 7 is what we're missing. So a 3 and a 7 could go here. Not a 7 though, but a 3 could. And then this one here, not a 4, but a 3 and a 7 could go here. Okay, so I just wanted to finish this one out because it was just missing a couple numbers. Let's come down here and let's look at this fella right here. We have a 1 across the top. We have a 1 across the middle. Now here's what I call a double elimination, folks. Just like we did there before. So if one of these 2 has to be a 1, and look at this 7. If one of them has to be a 1, the other one has to be a 7. If this is a 1, this is a 7. If this is a 1, this is a 7. So this 9 will no longer fit here. Okay, so I have to take this 9 out, which remember that crisscross pattern. So if this one is a 9, that means this one has to be a 9. Okay, so let me clean out my pencil mark there with my 9. So that 9 and that 9, because this 1 and 7 double eliminate this field, so these are the only two spots that can be a 1 and a 7. So we've got our 1, 2, 3. We're missing our 4 and our 5. Cool. So now we get another double elimination. See this one here that could be a 3 or a 5? Well, it cannot be a 5 anymore, because one of these two has to be a 5, which will say no other 5s in this row, so that makes it our 3. Okay, now this one is going to match this 1 and a 7. We've got our 4s and our 5s. The only number that is left in this column is a 1 or a 7 to match this 1 or a 7. And there's nothing this way solved just yet to help us to determine what number that's going to be. So now this cube is fully solved out, or resolved anyways. So now we have a 4 and a 5, a 4, 5. Now, cool, look at this pattern here. This is the only one left that could be a 3, because we have a 3 down the left side and a 3 across the top. So that resolves this one to be our 3. Okay, so now we can take our 3 off of this one. 4 and a 5, 4 and a 5, 4 and a 5, 5. Ooh, look at all these 4s and 5s. Woohoo! Okay, now this 3 comes up here. One of these two are going to be a 3, right? Well, no, it cannot be a 3 yet. Boing. There we go. We'll take that 3 out of there. Now we have a 3 in the left column, a 3 down the center column, and we do have a 3 across the top, which makes this one our 3. Now this one could only be a 3 or a 7, right? Because it can't be a 4. So now that one is our 7, which makes this one our 4, which now kind of starts to cascade some of these. This one can't be a 4, has to be a 5. Alright, so now let me clean up my, oh, not my 4, sorry, 5. Had to get my 5 out of that one. No 5 here, no 5 here. So we're missing a 2, 4, and a 6 out of these 3. Now I've only got 2 numbers in this column that are missing, and it looks like that 1 and 7, that same 1 and 7 that's being sneaky over here. Oh, hey, look at that. We've got a 7 right there that we just resolved. So that means this cannot be a 7 anymore. That means that has to be a 1. Very good. Now that's going to help us with this 1 and 7. I know this is going to cascade down here and help to resolve some of these, but I started off with this being a 1 or a 7, and I saw that we had resolved this 7. So we cannot have a 1 here. So 1 has to go here, 7 has to go here, which means 7 has to go here, 8 has to go here, 8 has to go here. Only number left in this row, 1, 2, looks like a 3. 3. And we already have a 3 here. I just did not clean up my pencils. I preach that all the time and I mess it up. So here's our 1 and our 7, and we're going to flop those, 1 and a 7. Very good. Keeping those clean. Look down here. Do I have any other 1s or 7s that I need to clean up? Nope. But we still got all these 4s and 5s and 2s and 5s. And that is okay. So now I've got 2 numbers that are missing here, and that's going to kind of help us out here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need a 5 and a 6. I need a 5 and a 6. So is there anything there to help us out with a 5 or a 6? There's got to be something there, Chief. Let me just write it down. 5, 6. Whoop. Fat fingered that. There we go. A 5 or a 6. So here we go. We are down to the end, and we need to resolve this here. Okay. Alright, so I see that I have a 5 here, and I just forgot my pencil mark. Did not update my pencil mark. So this cannot be a 5, so it has to be a 2. This one has to be the 5. Alright, now if this is the 5, and I'm looking down this row, this cannot be the 2. Clean up that pencil mark. No, wrong button. That is, this one has to be our 2. Now this one was a 4, 6. Why is my shift doing that? I'm holding down the wrong button. There we go. That was a 5. There we are. I don't know why I was messing those up. Now the 4s create a ghost row, but it also says we've got a 3 here. This cannot be a 3. has to be our 4, has to be our 3. If that's our 3, this one has to be our 4. And they just kind of cascade from here, folks. They're all just going to fall like dominoes. If that's our 4, there's our 5. If that's our 5, there's our 4. If that's our 4, there's our 5. If that's our 5, there's our 4. If that's our 4, there's our 5. Only number left here when we take out the 4 and the 5 is the 3. Now we have a 4, which means this one now has to be a 6, which means this one now has to be a 4. And with this being a 6, this one now has to be a 5, and this one has to be a 6. So be very careful with those pencil marks, folks. That's what got me caught. I could have stared at this thing for half an hour and missed that one simple pencil mark and been lost. But there it is, folks. We've got a hard puzzle. We've got the crisscross elimination. We've got the double elimination. Got ghost rows and pencil marks. Keep it clean and neat, and try to keep it updated. Sometimes it gets exciting when you're starting to resolve, and I forget because I'm so excited to be getting certain numbers, and I forget to go and update it, and that can hinder you later on. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys have a happy new year. Have some fun playing some games. Feel free again to pause this at the beginning, print it off, play with, and see how you do. And please feel free to leave any comments, suggestions, or challenges. I do like them all. And I hope you guys all have a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye.